Hi everyone. I hope you're having your best holidays ever. I'm sure when you decided to take up teaching, you heard a lot of people telling you how important it was to pass CELTA, which is not our main topic for today, and how to pass it. If you are really interested in finding out how to pass it and what CELTA is, you can just Google it. So I'm not going to explain what it is, but just to give you a brief idea, it's a world recognized certificate which allows you, as a person who is not a native speaker and could also be okay if you're a native speaker, it allows you to teach English to other people, especially adults. Being a native speaker doesn't mean that you can teach the language. For example, if you are a native speaker of Italian, you were born in Italy, you spent all your life in Italy, of course your pronunciation is perfect, but it doesn't mean you can teach Italian. You know what goes with what, but the problem is you may not know why. Either because you simply learned it as a kid and then you have been using it all your life without asking why. It's something spontaneous for you, or because you don't have the mean to explain. You don't know how to explain. Okay, you know why, but you don't have the means to explain why. You don't know how to explain why. So being a native speaker is perfect when we are talking about the pronunciation and the words bank. But when it comes to teaching, no. To teach, it's not enough to be a native speaker. You must also learn how to teach the language itself. What I'm going to discuss today is also not why we need CELTA, because the answer is simple and easy. We need CELTA to get more money. That's why we study. That's why we invest the money we have now, so we can get much more in the future. So again, this is not our topic for today. What I'm going to discuss today is, do I really need CELTA? To answer this question, I must ask another question, which is, and it might sound weird, but actually answering the second question is more than halfway toward answering the main question. The second question is, where do you live? Yes, where do you live? This is the most important question. The place of your living actually decides if you need CELTA or not. Passing CELTA isn't easy. It requires a lot of effort, and it's also not cheap. You're not only risking your time or risking your sweat, but also you're risking your money, because my experience with CELTA, well, is back to 2019. Of course, things have changed a lot since that date, but we had an intensive course, what people might have in 6 months, we had to do in 25 days. Well, in total there were 26, but the last day was more like a party. Again, I'm not going to discuss what happens there or what happens during the course, because again, you can simply Google it and find out more. But we had to do an intensive course, and after 2 weeks, well, first when you enter, you have to pay about £970 just to enter, and then after the course is over, you'll have to pay about £400 just for the certificate. The total is about $1,500. Again, it was in 2019. And after 2 weeks, you will have a meeting with the tutors to tell you if you could continue or not. And if your performance isn't good enough, you'll be simply kicked out and the money will be gone. So for some people, $1,500 might not be that big amount of money, but if you're talking about young people, who are making the first steps, It's really good money. Today, it depends on the country where you live, because as I said before, things have changed, and there are, especially after COVID, there were some online courses. Now they could be for 6 months or 1 year. So ask before you participate or before you take that course. Back to the main question: where do you live? Now, if you live in East Europe and you are planning to stay where you are and establish your career, so go ahead. CELTA is perfect for you. Now, why is CELTA good for you in this case? Most people in East Europe or in Africa or in the Middle East, they either work for foreign companies, or they want to work for foreign companies either abroad, or some of them could be located in their countries, and of course they require English. Of course they require other languages, but English is always on the top of the list. Or they want to go abroad. And if you live on the coast, your situation couldn't get any better. It's just perfect, because sailors always or will forever need English. Yeah, of course you will find a lot of competitors, a lot of courses. Not all of them are good, but you can at least start something. You can at least make your first steps in teaching career. And to know more about courses, you can check the video here I made about different types of courses. Now, if you are already in West Europe, or you are planning, or you are not originally from West Europe, but you're planning to settle down in West Europe, so CELTA, you better forget about CELTA. And if you want to know why, welcome, you came to the right person. Unless, and I say again, unless you are working for a governmental school, CELTA is not for you. You will always work as a freelancer. You'll spend your life jumping and running from this course to that school. You'll have no contract. You will wonder every month how much money you will get at the end of the month, or sometimes at the end of after 2 months. You'll be also wondering, are they going to give me more projects? Are they going to take this project from me? And so there is a feeling of insecurity, because you are always, you will forever be a freelancer. You will never have a full-time contract, again, unless you are working for a governmental school. Yes, you will find a lot of courses, and most of these courses will actually require CELTA to hire you. That's true. But you would get, something which like pocket money. Yeah, sometimes it's good. Sometimes you really get some good money, but you cannot count on this money, because every month it would be different. And remember, you didn't pass CELTA. You didn't pay almost £1,000. You didn't spend several sleepless nights preparing for the next observation. And those who pass CELTA know what observation means. You didn't do all of that. You didn't risk almost all of your savings just to get some pocket money, which you could actually get from any other job. You passed CELTA because you wanted to establish a lifelong career. You didn't do it just to work in a job which would give you pocket money. In my first video on this channel, I talked about the kinds of teachers. You can watch it from here. And I mentioned that most, but not all, of teachers are over 50 or married. So they either get pension payments, or they get from their children or partners. In other words, they don't actually have to worry a lot. And I didn't say at all. I said they don't have to worry a lot about their income, because there is always someone to help them. The problem appears when You are a young person trying to establish a family, trying to establish a career, to work, to support your family, or at least start a family. That's why you invest this much money in CELTA. So, if you're in this category, the answer is CELTA is not for you. You better save your pennies or invest your pennies or the pennies you have in another project: food, cosmetics, small shops, anything. Definitely not teaching. Teaching in this case is not for you. You will waste your time, waste your money, waste your effort. You'll have no security. You'll be always running and trying to fight and struggle to get a group from here, lesson from there, and you'll never be able to establish a good life for yourself. Yeah, again, in 1 month you could get thousands of dollars or euros. In 1 month. In 1 month you could get 5,000 euros, 6,000 euros. In 1 month you could get 5 cents or 10 cents. You don't know. So again, if you are already in this category, please take my piece of advice. Don't risk it. Don't risk it. Unless you're actually staying in West Europe for some time and you're planning to go back to your country. In that case, yes, go ahead. Only in this case. So, that was my experience about CELTA. That was what I had been through during CELTA. As I always say, everything I say on this channel is based on my own experience, which could be right, could be wrong. I'm sure that everyone has his or her own unique story and experience, so sharing them in the comment section is always well appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your holidays. See you later.